Hello, everyone, and welcome to the IR Update. Today with us, we have Mr. Richard MacPherson, CEO from Birchtech Corp. Hi, Richard. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi there. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. So to start, Richard, how should investors think about the timeline and scale of your planned granular activated carbon, your GAC, reactivation facility build-out? And what key milestones would validate Birchtech's ability to capture meaningful share of the PFAS compliance market?
Well, with regards to the actual GAC reactivation plant itself, we are in the permitting process now. We expect that to carry on for about another 60 days. We do expect to be successful in that effort. That'll be the first milestone, will be the actual permitting of the facility. At that time, we'll also be sharing with the community the location of that, and keeping in mind that the location is based on offtake agreements that we've been working on for some time. So we'll start to as well announce the offtake agreements that have led us to place the plant where indeed we do. Moving forward on that basis, we expect that our GAC sales side of our business will kick in the first or at the very latest second quarter of 2026. And so the sales of that GAC or GAC as it's required, recalled, that will start in the first or second quarter of 2026 and start to add significantly to our revenues, which of course will kick up on the reactivation side once the plant is finished end of 2026.
Okay. And with virgin GAC prices up more than 50% over the past 18 months, how do you see reactivated GAC adoption evolving among utilities? And what impact could this shift have on Birchtech's positioning in the water treatment sector?
Well, I think the continuing increase in granular activated carbon is something that we both expected and think will go on through the rest of the decade. And that's why we feel that reactivation is the proper best strategy for us to take going forward, because the economics are so sound, roughly 50% of the cost of granular activated carbon. So once the new GA systems are in place and they're filled with GAC, we expect to see our business grow substantially as people turn to reactivation rather than purchasing new GAC every 6 to 9 months.
You've highlighted initial feedstock agreements and expect water business revenues to begin in the second half of 2025. So what traction are you seeing today from municipalities or industrial customers, and how might these early relationships translate into meaningful revenue contribution in 2026 and beyond?
Yeah, so we'll actually start to announce new water revenues in the coming week or two. We've significant impact in that division already. So it will grow through the latter part of 2025. And the GAC, as I mentioned, picking up in either Q1 or Q2 of 26 will make a substantial contribution to our overall revenues. I think the relationships that we're building now are not really just based on sales of water treatment materials, which is a sound approach to enter the market, but the work that we're doing at our laboratories is very significant and building terrific relationships across the field, both with utilities and engineering firms. So collectively, the research development efforts, the testing that we are doing with utilities, and the sell-through of products into the market will all combine for a great start into the industry, both in latter 2025 and throughout 2026.
I see. Birchtech's planned GAC reactivation facility represents a first-to-market move. What tailwinds should investors anticipate from this plant? And do you have updated visibility on when it could come online?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, the permitting process being close to completion now, we expect to make significant announcements in the coming months, both the location, size of the plant, and offtake agreements that we've been working on for some time with utilities when the plant is up, fully commissioned, ready to go, the clients are lined up and ready to use it. So that's all been part of our strategy that we've been developing these past 18 to 24 months. And we'll start to add tangible material results to that as we move forward with the announcements, in particular in the last quarter of this year. So I think moving forward, that will make significant inroads for us. Again, moving forward to the actual completion of the plant by the end of 2026, and also the capacity of the approach that we've taken with regards to scalability. So we'll have the ability to scale these plants up as we broaden out from our initial offtake agreements.
And our last question. In the air business, you noted the pending $57 million jury award judgment. Can you provide an update on the timing and prospects for this judgment and how it may influence near-term growth in the air business and how these developments tie into your capital markets goals, including a potential uplisting to a major US exchange by year end?
Excellent. I'll start with the last first. We are moving forward with everything in place to do an uplisting to the New York Stock Exchange in the last quarter of this year. So the S1 is underway. All of the criteria that we need is organized and ready to go for the uplisting. All that's to remain at this point is for us to get what we expect to happen, which would be the organic growth necessary to reach the minimum share price requirements. With regards to the air judgment, we are awaiting the judgment. And again, the basic amount was $57 million. We've asked the court for $159 million. And we're expecting that the judge will reach out with a final judgment any week now, although it is a federal judge matter. And so there's really no predicting when it will take place. But we do expect, especially given a very favorable bench trial result, that it should happen, we're hoping, this fall, and would go hand in hand in terms of resetting the asset base of the company accordingly. So most importantly, not just the one-time win at trial with regards to our ongoing supply business, but as we settle away agreements with present defendants, which we've done several in the past couple of months and expect to do several more in the coming months, those are really the centers of growth for the supply side of our business. So we very much expect that the supply side of the air business will continue to grow nicely as the contracts that are being held by these defendants run out and are replaced with contracts for supply with us per the terms of these settlement agreements. So overall, it's pretty much a two-pronged approach on the air side, and we feel very confident about how that will work out through the rest of 2025.
Excellent. Richard, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.